11.2 number 1, we're given a function and we're supposed to find the limit as x approaches negative 5. And the idea would be if you take that negative 5 and you plug it in there, and then you plug it in here and here, you end up with 25 minus 35 plus 10 on top, which will give me a 0. And on the bottom, negative 5 plus 5 is also 0. It's very important. 0 over 0. This does not mean DNE. A lot of students get that 0 over 0 and they're like, oh, it doesn't exist. Well, that's not true. What that basically tells us is that we need to do another technique. So let's go ahead and do the limit as x approaches negative 5. Now, we should recognize that we should factor. So I need two numbers that multiply to give me 10, but add up to 7. So x plus 2, x plus 5 would work. And then we have x plus 5 on the bottom. Now, what we learned in the 2627 stuff is that, oh, that would indicate there's a hole in the graph. So this thing, this function, is really, I'm going to put air quotes around it, is really behaving like x plus 2. It's not x plus 2, but it behaves like that. I know I can't use negative 5, but now that I've done my factoring, when I take that negative 5 and I plug it in, I get negative 5 plus 2, which is negative 3. So let's take a look at what this means on the calculator. So if I type it in and I graph it, you can actually see on this graph that if you go to the left 5, there's the hole in the graph. And if you would follow that hole back to the y-axis, it's going to be approximately at an output of negative 3. So again, I could tell my table to start at negative 5 and let's get fairly small. And so I can see the error, and if I put that in the middle, there is not actually a value of negative 3, correct? But if you go from the top down to the error, and you go from the bottom up to the error, you're getting closer to negative 5 for your x's, while the y's are in fact approaching negative 3. Now, if you do not do the algebra, there are going to be times that you won't get the exact value. So make sure you're always doing the algebra like we did here.